praise to the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for everything. He's going to be praised for everything. Our great power. The Mashiach Yahushua, the anointed Savior. As always, we'll start off with Colossians 3 and 17. And whatsoever you do, in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. That's how we thank the Most High. By Mashiach Yahushua. He said, no man comes to the Father but by him. He said, you ask anything in my name, I would do it, that the Father can be glorified in the Son. So all praise and glory to the Most High. And I was actually going to the resurrection. So I'm going to try and cover this in through the Spirit of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua. And we're going to look at 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, and we're going to look at verse 34. It says, awake to righteousness and sin not. That's very key. It says awake. So if you're awake, then you're not going to be asleep. Or you're not going to be in darkness. If you're awake, you're going to be into the light, shining bright. Listen to what it says, awake to righteousness and sin not. So righteousness have to mean that is contrary or opposite of sinning, which is breaking the laws of the Most High. Breaking his laws, statutes, and commandments, his rules and regulations. For some have not the knowledge of the Most High. See, some have not the knowledge of the Most High. I speak this to your shame. Especially you that don't have the knowledge of the Most High. If you fall into that category. And that's at anything, in any way, shape, or form. If you don't have the knowledge of the Most High, you're a fool. That's why he say, he's speaking this to your shame. So, it say awake to righteousness. So, what is righteousness? Let's look at righteousness. Go to Deuteronomy, go to the law, Deuteronomy 6:25. This is how you be righteous. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if, which is a condition, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power, as he hath commanded us. That's how you be righteous, to follow his commandments. And you will shine forth as lights if you keep his commandments. So, going back to 1 Corinthians 15 and 34, it says, awake to righteousness, right? So that means either you awake or you what? Sleep. Look at Romans 13 and 11. You don't want to be sleeping these times, people. That's why he said watch and pray. But you got to know what to watch for. Romans 13 and 11. It says, and that knowing the time, you got to know the time as you watch it. That now it is high time to awake out of sleep. See, it's high time to wake out of sleep. Wake up. Realize your nationality. Realize what you have to do in knowing what's right according to the Most High and loving it. You see, when you look at dealing with this truth, you can, how many times have I been through correction of people and they get attitude with me, but I'm just saying I have to do what I do. Because if I don't, their blood gonna be on me. And the Most High pulling that mercy and grace out, people are being put to death. That's why he said, look, 1 John 5 and 3. That's why it's beautiful to love the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, and want to know what's right from wrong, to do what's right. So you never hear me complain about my teachers. I appreciate everyone that dropped jewels and have dropped jewels. Y'all out there talking about people, but you better appreciate it. Most I had them for a reason. And if they didn't drop the jewel they dropped on you, you wouldn't know it, you know. You didn't learn it by yourself. 1 John 5 and 3. Well, this is the love of the Most High, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous. So, if you don't know what's right, and you feeling bad about doing what's right, then you ain't mad at the person, you mad at the Most High. You gotta take it up with the Most High. And Most High, as He said, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. That's why it says it's time to wake out of sleep, people. It's time to wake up. And if you're awoke, then you're going to be doing righteousness, which is the laws of the Most High, doing what's right, so that you don't fall into the hands of the living power. Especially when He's pulling that mercy and grace back. Oh yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of gnashing of teeth. People hollering and screaming. As it is written, it's written. You're going to see. You want to know about the resurrection, you're going to see. A lot of you are going to hopefully open up your eyes to see this. Look at, go back to Romans 13 and 11. Let's deal with that. A little bit more I'm going to bring on. Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. So it's time to wake up. And once you woke, then you're supposed to go back to sleep. How can I go back to sleep when the Most High done woke me up? And I'm trying to go back to sleep. I tell you, look, those that sleep, poverty comes to them. All you want to do is sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. You're a sluggard. It says that's just a normal sleeping. But he's talking about awakening out of the ignorance of not having the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Him. The little that He's given us. We know in part prophesying prophet. The little that He's given us, you should want to know as much as you can before Mashiach Yahushua come back. He ain't coming back. He done called you. Most High done called you to a Mashiach Yahushua. I'm telling y'all, He ain't coming back talk about we gonna start all over from scratch. No, He already sent men on this earth to bring forth the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You listening? He ain't coming back starting. Oh, I didn't get that because you ain't take the time to know it. You ain't want to know the Most High. Well, I gave you a lot about my Father. What do you know about my Father and your Father? I know a little bit. I did a little bit here and there, whatever. Okay, that's all that you cared about. Gone to the left. Say you're going to be gnashing the teeth. You're going to be hollering and screaming. Better hear what He's saying. He said, look. Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. Tell you why it's high time to wake up and be righteous and do what's right and want to know what's right according to the word of the Most High. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Some of you don't believe. What is believe? Faith. You don't have faith to believe this. You think you're going to do whatever you want to do, just keep doing whatever you're doing in the world, then He's going to come and catch you slipping. He's going to catch you slipping. Because you don't know enough about Him and you don't care to know enough about Him. People don't. That's why I look for the laws. Who's doing the laws of the Most High, going over the laws? Very few. For our people to know these laws. You ain't going to do it on your own. You know Israel is lazy. They ain't going to do it on their own. You better know what's right for wrong. You ain't going back starting all over talking about you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that, when it's written in the book. Y'all still in the church. Y'all still got this, y'all done made up y'all own power. The Most High is a man of war. And see, y'all don't believe that, I don't think. Y'all don't think He'll touch you, right? He will touch you. He will touch us. He'll touch us any way that He wants to. In many different ways. It's just a matter of you having your eyes open and you watching to know. And want to know more of Him, more of His word. That's why you get these precepts. To get the understanding. See? He said, the night is far spent. What's night? Ignorance. Not knowing. The day is at hand. He said, the day is at hand. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. How you cast off the works of darkness? You cast off your pride. Because your pride put you in darkness. You ain't gonna see the resurrection though when you're ready to go over it and you prideful. You run around with your chip on your shoulder. Like you got it all, you got this and that, this and that. You ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing. That's why the Most High say, hey, the poor man that's prideful. We don't have nothing. That's why we need to humble ourselves, have a broken and contrite spirit as the Most High wants us to have before Him, before He visits us. I mean, haven't you seen our story? Slavery after slavery after slavery. Or you want to go back to being dealt with? Any of us can be dealt with in that fashion in this day and time, whether you want to believe it or not. They just bust a sex trafficking ring, stealing people. They're stealing people. They're stealing people, us for our body parts and so forth, for melanin and pigment. But understand, it's a wicked world. Most I ain't playing either. You know how it's happened? Because He lifting that mercy and grace off. But y'all can't see it. You better see it. He said, because our salvation is nearer than when you even imagine. But your faith won't allow you to believe that because you don't have enough faith in Him. Or hopefully you do. The ones that do, hey, prepare for the kingdom. He said, the night is far spent, verse 12. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. Do you understand how you cast off the works of darkness? By being righteous. By knowing what's right and say, oh, like you said, Most High said, for this the love of the Most High. How you love the Most High? He said, it's the love of the Most High. That we keep His commandments. We do what He say do. We do what's right. And His commandments are not grievous. So when you get sad about something that the Most High say you're supposed to do in righteousness, then you working with who? Satan. In darkness. Ignorance, not knowing. He don't want you to be there. He don't want to see nobody perish. There's going to be many going to perish because they're going to remain in darkness. Can't come out of it. All you Christians, all y'all went to church and so forth, y'all coming out of darkness. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. You hear that? The armor of light? This is protection. This is protection. Armor is for protection. Armor of light. Look, Proverbs 6:23. Put on this protection of light. Of light. You want to be protected, you want things to work right for you, then it tells you here. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. Got to put on the laws of the Most High. Keep His commandments. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. We got to keep these commandments. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. You hear that? Reproofs of instruction. Telling you what to do are the way of life. If you're an Israelite, you want to be a Gentile, you want to be the other nation, the heathen nation, then be that. Going out there in the world and be that. But if you're an Israelite, then you got to reproofs of instruction are the way of life. You're going to be reproved and instructed properly in the way of thus say the Most High. It is very important that you see this because if you cannot be instructed, then you're not going to know the way of life. You're not going to be able to know the way of life. It's not going to be given to you. So now you have the law, which we have to keep the commandments of the Most High, and we have to have a faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, who is the light. Look at John, the first chapter. And bear with me, I'm kind of under the weather. In verse 4. In Him, who was Mashiach Yahushua, was life. And the life was the light of men. The light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. See? So, He was shining in darkness. He came as a light shining in darkness. We know that the light is the law. So he came to show us how to follow the law. And where did he come? He came into the so-called Roman Empire. He came into the Roman Empire. Shining bright in darkness. Because Esau had already had the people stop even acknowledging that they're Israelites, as it is today. See, the same thing happened before Mashiach came on the earth. You look at 2 Maccabees 6:6, and it was against the law to even call yourself an Israelite. So this is going on before Mashiach even came into the earth. So he had to come into darkness because darkness was on the earth prevalent. Now the people really in gross darkness, as it tells in Isaiah 60:2. Gross ignorance. But see, when you look at John the 14th chapter with understanding, since we in the 6th verse, Psalms 119, 142 says, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth, right? So when you look at St. John 14:6, when you see it, it says, Mashiach said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So if you look at it, what he's saying, is he the law? No, he's telling us. He said, I am the way to show you how to follow the law. Because he said it was an example, admonition for us. That's going to lead to everlasting life and the life. You're not going to bypass it. That's why within this verse, you have who? Mashiach Yahushua, the faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, and the law. Because the truth is the law. And we say, I am the way, but it's not for everybody to understand. That's why it's coded as such. And people say, oh, somebody else wrote the Bible. Yeah, holy men wrote the Bible. They were moved by the Holy Spirit. But still, you got to interpret it for what it is that makes sense from what was written and what they had to go by, and that was the Old Testament. So yeah, so the light is shining in darkness. And we, the men that the Most High have ordained on this earth in these last days to bring forth this truth to our people to wake us up. You better pay attention to it. Because once this is shut down, you can't get it. You don't wonder, what I'm going to do now? What am I going to do now? You all alone. You might not even have whoever it is that is your teacher to rely on. No teachers. It's about do and let it be done. Or you're not going to know what to do and fall into darkness of the world. That's the choices you have. That's life and death, people. Light and darkness is just like life and death. Because the light is the law, keeping the law is righteousness. And darkness is not keeping the laws and being unrighteous. So that's why it's very important. When you look at, that's why I say, and it gives you protection. He'll make a way where there's no way, so, well, okay, we'll make sure that whatever happens, you can cover it. You can deal with it. He'll make a way forward. Miracles. That's what I'm talking about, miracles. A lot of people don't understand that because they ain't dealing with miracles. They're just dealing with their everyday life, going through the routines, same old. Well, your miracles. Got to be miracles happening in some kind of way. You got faith. Hopefully, you'll see. It works. See, let us walk honestly as in the day. Not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chamberings and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put you on a Mashiach Yahushua, our master, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. That's what people doing. They dealing with, I feel this way, I feel that way. That's your lust in your flesh. Your flesh gonna put you right in hell. Right where everybody else is going to hell. That's a lot of our problem. They deal with lust. It makes you weak. It makes you weak. When you can control your lust, hey, you be on top then. Believe me. You'll be on top. The Most High will show you favor. Because here comes Satan, and you rebuke him. But it's your lust. He will come with you whatever you desire. Whatever you like to do, here it is, man. That's why you got to let something go. You got to That's a sacrifice. That's why he said, let your body be a living sacrifice. That's coming out of darkness into the light. Let your body be a living sacrifice. And Mashiach Shai was the ultimate sacrifice. Now the Most High wants us to be, our bodies to be a sacrifice. Look at Ephesians 5:14. Ephesians 5:14. Ephesians 5:14. Wherefore he said, awake, thou that sleepeth. Say, awake, wake up, all you that sleeping in darkness, ignorance, not knowing, and arise from the dead. That's a dead state of mind. And the Mashiach Shai shall give thee light. See? That's why I say, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. The truth is the light. The truth is the laws. The light is the laws, the commandments of the Most High. But he said you got to wake up. Because you sleep. Too many people are asleep. You got to put time into this. Or else you're not worthy. You ain't going to be worthy. You're going to see when we go through this, you're going to see. We're talking about resurrection. We're going to see if you just can do whatever you want to do and just think you're going to make it. And it's sad because a lot of people have come in, like I said, the truth is a revolving door. You see them in and out. And after they leave, you know, you got the complete number of spirits, seventh number completion. A complete number of spirits come to destroy them. More wicked than the ones that you had before when you was out there in the world. How about that? And some of you got spirits that you're dealing with coming in. Still need to be exercised. At any day, at any time. And you don't know it because they're normal. To you, they're normal. Listen, that's why he said, wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead. So you got to rise from that dead state of mind. You're not talking about rising up from the, somebody that died in the ground. No. That's why you have the dead Israelites. You know, it's not knowing. The Corinthians, dead Israelites, had to be awakened to the power of Baal Shalom Mashiach Yahushua, to the laws of the Most High. You see? And all the rest of the books of the New Testament. And a lot of the books of the Old. When he said, go tell my people who? Israel. Always talking to us, a rebellious and a stiff-necked and all kind of names he called us. The Most High called us. Because we didn't want to follow what was righteous. Following that lust. Playing around with this. And I'm telling you that mercy and grace is coming up, people. I'm telling you. But he'll show favor to you if you do what he say do, regardless of what the devil or those demons or whoever trying to come up against you, trying to do. That's why I say put the armor of light, that protection of doing what's right in his eyes, and love it. Don't hate it, love it. Love it. Because it's from the Most High. Especially when you see miracles and the glory of the Most High, how he works things out for you. And that's just waking up in the morning. I'll praise his holy name. First Thessalonians 4 and 5. First Thessalonians 4 and 5. First Thessalonians 4 and 5. Now is the lust of concupiscences, not in the lust of concupiscences, as I was telling you about, that lust gonna send a whole lot of people to hell, even as the Gentiles which know not the Most High. See? So when you look at this is all kind of inordinate sexual acts and people accepting all this madness that's going on, and lusting beyond, allowing your body to be a living sacrifice too. Holding back from things that you know that you should, and you just keep lusting after, or you desire this and desire that, and lust is your desires. Gotta have it, gotta have it. No, you don't have to have it. You gotta have this word. You gotta have the word of the Most High. You gotta have the Most High. You gotta have a Mashiach Yahushua. That's what we need. Because they're the ones coming back to judge and make war instead of righteousness on this earth. You gotta have His laws, statutes, commandments. You gotta have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. You gotta know what's right from wrong, or else you're gonna be cast into the lake of fire, point blank. He ain't playing. It's simple. It's easy. Got from the beginning. Choose life or death. Now death is the lake of fire, point blank. So not as the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles which know not the Most High. So when you deal with all this lust, you ain't knowing the Most High. Because you know what happens? You put that above Him. And the things that you desire is above whatever you're supposed to be desiring. And He's telling you what you should desire in loving Him. But it's the love of the Most High to keep His commandments. The commandments are not grievous. But to do what you got to do for Him, now you feel sad about that? Oh yeah, He gonna deal with you. I'm telling y'all, He pulling that mercy and grace up. The Spirit is coming forth. You better hear it. Remember, the devil know he got a short time coming down with much wrath. Who he coming down with? Those that keep the commandments of the Most High, have the faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, the true testimony of the Mashiach Yahushua. That's Revelation 12 and 12 and Revelation 12:17 all day long. But see, people say, oh, he can't touch me. Oh, he can touch any of us. We ain't nothing but flesh. That's it. So don't think you playing with man when you playing with the Most High. Better understand, like I tell you, Exodus 15 and 3, the Most High is a man of war. And He already told us what He's going to do. It's already written. Everybody should know. If you don't have no questions, you should already know. That's where it's going to go down. You're going to say, if He come next week, you'll say, okay, what do you know? I know this, I know that, I did this, I did that. Was it under the operations of what I instructed you to do? Through the precepts? If it wasn't, then that's why you think we got precepts. People that read the Bible all their life, they still reading it, don't understand it. Still don't understand it. You get understanding through the precepts. That's what this is all about. Other than that, you might as well go back to wherever you came from. And accept that, because it's not really heavy learning. This is a lot of learning. I don't know if y'all realize there's a lot of learning. You got to put a time into this. It's like you put time in going to Esau school. That's more important than the Most High. Put it like that. We had to go through 12 years of Esau's curriculum. Then you go to college or university, get a degree. You got to spend time. And all that is, all they want to see if you liable, if you responsible enough to go. They don't care about no grades. Was you responsible enough to get that degree? Then they know that you was responsible. That's all it is. They ain't ask you what grade you get. What job you ever went on, they ask you what was your grade level. They just want to see if you made it through. That's what the Most High going to do. When He sent a Mashiach Yahushua, the book's going to be open. And like I tell you, it's going to be what you do for me on the right side. And what you do for yourself on the left side. Your lust. This your lust and your desires are here. For you. Then next thing you know, you the idol. Because you all about yourself. When you ain't put enough time, I'm not saying don't do anything for yourself. We got to do things for ourselves. But I'm just saying, when you put all that time to yourself, and it outnumbers what you're doing for the Most High, and the Mashiach Yahushua and Yasharallah, and yourself as an Israelite, the book's going to be open, people. I'm just trying to tell you, warn you. Because if I don't warn you, your blood be on me. So you can't say that. I'm telling you, I put time into this. You can never put enough time. You can never praise the Most High enough. You can never do as much as you can do for Him unless you just live it in the Most High. Hopefully you don't think like that. Look, 1 Corinthians 6 and 5. He said, I'll speak to your shame once again. He speak to your shame. This ain't uplifting you. Some of you need to be shamed. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you? No, not one that shall be able to judge between his brethren. You got one brother can judge between his brethren, a righteous judgment, but brother, go up to law with brother, and that before the unbelievers. You going to the law with brothers, and before the unbelievers, they don't believe in the law? That's not going to work. So you can't counsel nobody with the law that's an unbeliever. That'd be a lot of our problems. They don't believe in the law. They've been told and programmed that they're not under the law. Say, now therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because you go to law one with another. Why do you not rather take wrong? Or you take law? Why do you not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? That's thankworthy with the Most High. Nay, you do wrong and defraud, and that your brother. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? That's clear. The righteous are the ones that will keep the laws of the Most High and have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. But the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Be not deceived. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, men that's all funny, like a woman, nor abusers of themselves of mankind, men with men, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelings, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. See? And such were some of you. You hear that? And such were some of you, but you are washed. But ye are sanctified. But ye are justified by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, and by the Spirit of our power. Most High Yahweh, power. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See? Don't you see what it say? The justified and the sanctified and the glorified represent another name for the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. We have many identities that he identifies. See, all things are lawful unto me. See, all things are lawful to him because he knew the law. He was raised a Pharisee. Listen to what he's saying. But with his condition, all things are not expedient. Everything ain't going to happen right away. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. See? So we have to have leniency with our people, but it comes a time when after so long, it's like, come on, y'all got to get this. Or you don't want it. You got to shake the dust off your feet. They don't want to accept it. Take the dust off your feet and keep moving on to somewhere else. But if you want it, then you're going to try harder and try hard to receive this, because time is running out, people. I mean, you hear people talking about my button is bigger than yours. I got the big button. No, my button is bigger than you. I push it before you. You know, I'll melt everything you got. It's still ready to be on, but y'all might not believe it, because you don't know enough of these prophecies. You see all the prophecies lining up. They lining up. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 34. Awake to righteousness and sin not. See, awake to the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and sin not, and don't break his laws. For some have not the knowledge of the Most High. Like he said, the Gentiles which know not the Most High. He put you in that category. You call yourself an Israelite, but you're really a Gentile if you don't know the knowledge of the Most High. That's clear. If you don't know the knowledge of a Mashiach Yahushua, you a Gentile. You ain't no Israelite. And you're going to look at you as such and say, don't be like the Gentiles, which know not the Most High. That's why you're going to put the sheep on the right hand and the goats on the left. And those that follow the system of the Gentiles and the goats and so forth, you're going to die with them. He's going to burn you up. That's what it tells you. Read your Bible. Matthew 25, 31, down, and 41. Going to cast them into the lake of fire. And you're going to cast the sheep into everlasting life. The true resurrection that we're talking about. Listen, verse 35. But some men will say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? So they're going to ask, well, how are the dead raised up and with what body do they come? So let me give you a little spiritual insight on something that was asked in Ezekiel the 37th chapter. And it says, verse 1 down, and the hand of the Most High was upon me, and carried me out of the spirit, carried me out in the spirit of the Most High, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. So he's looking at a valley full of bones. Now we're looking at, some men may say, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? See? So he's looking at Ezekiel looking at a valley full of bones, nothing but bones. Verse 2 in Ezekiel 37, and caused me to pass by them around about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley. And lo, they were very dry bones. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? They're nothing but bones. So can these bones live? The same question that's here. But some man will say in 1 Corinthians 15:35, how are the dead raised up? And with what body do they come? And he's asking here in verse 3 of Ezekiel 37, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Most High, thou knowest. So you know, Most High. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Most High. Thus said the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Hear that? And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you. Them sinews is his law, such commandments, and flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Most High. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together. The bones started coming together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. They had a body, but they had no breath in them. Then said he unto me, prophesy to the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus said the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them. The breath of life came into them, these bones, and they lived and stood up upon their feet. What stood up upon their feet? And who? An exceeding great army. See? Then he said unto me, Son of man, so you understand it's not talking about anyone else but Israel. These bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say to them, thus said the Most High power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. See, that's our power. The Most High, he let us know. You want to know? He'll let you know. Go to 2 Corinthians 5. 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. And verse 1. For we know that if our earthly house or this tabernacle will dissolve, well, you ain't got no bones, but bones. We have a building of the Most High and a house, not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. That's what we're going to look at and going to see. For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house or our body, which is from heaven. It's a body that's from heaven. If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked or exposed or shame, like he initially was saying. That's shame, to be found naked. That's why you got to cover yourself up. You got to cover yourself up with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and doing what's right. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened in these bodies that we have, being burdened, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. See? Now he that hath wrought us for the self-same thing is the Most High, through Mashiach Yahushua, who also have given us the earnest of the Spirit. And the Spirit comes through Mashiach Yahushua, through the glory of the Most High. Therefore we are always confident, knowing that once we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Most High. For we walk by faith, believing in the Most High, not by sight, what you see. That's why we got to look at this, what it is. We know we have a glorious body that's from above, that the Most High is going to give us. If we're worthy, the Most High will. You endure to the end in righteousness. 1 Corinthians 15. Hold there. We're going to go down through 1 Corinthians 15. It says, verse 36. Thou fool, what that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die. You see, it's telling you. That's why we have a heavenly body. So look at go to John the 12th chapter. Mashiach Yahushua pointed this out. And we're going to start at verse 23. St. John 23, we're going to concentrate on 24. It says, and Mashiach Yahushua answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified. Meaning he's going to die. They're going to put him to death. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. See, that's what he's telling us in this scripture here. Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. So all he does, lusting after this world, you're going to lose it. He's telling you here. In many scriptures tell you the same thing. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul troubled. Now is my body troubled. What shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this hour. Father, glorify thy name. Then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. He was therefore that stood by and heard it said that it's thunder. You know, the Most High voice is like thunder. You've heard that all your life. Others said, an angel spake to him, which is true. An angel did speak to him, but it was like the Most High voice, like thunder. Yeah. Mashiach answered and said unto them, this voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. That's who everybody will be drawn unto, of Mashiach, because he was lifted up from the earth. He drew all men unto him. You're talking about the resurrection. If you ain't drawn unto a Mashiach Yahushua, there's no resurrection. He said, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. So let's see if he was lifted up from the earth. Acts 1 and 9. Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up. See, Mashiach Yahushua was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. See, that's why he drawed all men to him. That's why you go to 1 Corinthians 3:23. Brothers better start listening. Pay attention. It says, and ye are Mashiachim. 1 Corinthians 3:23. And ye are Mashiachim. You don't belong to no man else. You put that man, put Yam on the end of that man's name. Whoever you uplifted above a Mashiach, because that's what you're doing. So we Mashiachim. And Mashiach is the Most High. You see that? Better recognize it's for real. See? We are Mashiachim. Romans 14 and 8. For whether we live, Romans 14 and 8. For whether we live unto Mashiach Yahushua. And whether we die unto Mashiach Yahushua. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are Mashiachim. Period. Mashiach is the Most High. That's why I say no man come to the Father but by me. While we pray in the name of the Anointed Savior. Going back to 1 Corinthians 15. It says, and that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain, it may chance of wheat or of some other grain. So whatever died and went to the ground, the spirit went back to the Most High, as it says. You understand that? But the body or the grain that's going to come up, going to be a brand new. The wheat died, that's why he gave an example. The wheat died, went to the ground, brought up some new wheat. Don't look the same, it ain't going to be the same as that wheat, because like our flesh goes back to the dirt. Spirit goes to the Most High put new flesh on a new spirit. New flesh on the spirit that he brings forth to the earth. That's what he's saying. But he's got to use, we require science, so we got to use, grain. You sow it, it dies, it brings forth, it bear grain, it may chance of wheat or some other grain. But it says, and that which thou sowest not that body that shall be. It ain't going to be the same wheat that died and went to the ground. It's going to be a different wheat. That's why I say it's going to be a different body. Remember, once I got a fleshly body, he got a body, a heavenly body, he got a body for us when we come on this earth. Being created in the womb. How you going to look? How he wants you to be. But that spirit comes from the Most High. But the Most High giveth it a body as it has pleased him, see? But the Most High give it a body as it has pleased him. Just what I just said. And to every seed his own body. Now the seed comes from who? The man. And the man's stomach is full of children. So the seed from a man brings forth the child, and the Most High puts the flesh on it the way he wanted it to be. That's what it's saying. But the Most High giveth it a body as it has pleased him. And to every seed his own body. You see? All flesh is not the same flesh. But there's one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. So you ain't dying a man coming back as a bird, or a dang on praying mantis, praying damn insect. You're not coming back like that. If you're a man, you come back as a man. You're a woman, you come back as a woman. And in that tribe you from too. You ain't changing up no tribes and all that stuff, or whatever nation you are, you come back as that nation. Don't get silly. Verse 40. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, earthly and heavenly. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. See? There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars, for one star differeth from another star in glory. They all different. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. It's sown in corruption, coming out of this wicked world, and is raised in incorruption. It's beautiful. Look at go to Daniel's 12. Daniel's 12:3. Let's look at 2. It says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, is what we're talking about, and some to shame and everlasting contempt, and be thrown into the lake of fire. That's why he kept talking about your shame. That shame is you being thrown into the lake of fire. You hear what it said? To shame and everlasting contempt, everlasting fire, people. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. And they that turn many to righteousness, turn many to the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, as the stars forever and ever. See? And he told Daniel, he said, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. And we in the end now.